A slightly different start to today's video, and I'm just going to ask for 2 minutes of your time just to tell you something that's really important to me and really difficult to talk about for me as well, but I'm going to try because I promised I would. Some of you may have seen in Discord occasionally or in the comments a gentleman by the name of Rob, whose actual name is Rob Newman. He's got his own YouTube channel called Rob Newman Sim Racing. Rob has been following the channel for a long time now. Not one of the very first, but certainly since the sort of spike like over a year ago where the channel picked up a bit of traction around the FS stuff. So and yeah, I got to talking and sort of getting to know Rob, and he was like just such a helpful guy. Really sort of like helped me understand how to play the game and things to consider about the channel, and he was sort of an ear to bend really about a lot of things. And I, if I was having sort of issues with gonna get my head around like viewing numbers or channel progress, or if people would like this or if people would like that and stuff, and he was just such a calm sort of noise for me really, and just just an excellent sort of like a tutor and a friend really, all in one. And yeah, so but I mean, on top of that, then we sort of got to know each other a bit more. And what I came to learn with Rob was that he was battling cancer, and had been for some time, and maybe I'm not sure on the timings now, but probably, I don't know, 12 to 18 months ago, I think it must have been, from the way he was talking. He was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and that was like his sternum, his lungs, his hip, and his brain. And on top of that, Rob has been battling MS for 20 years. So, the guy has just had such a tough hand dealt to him. And you wouldn't know it. You just, from speaking to him, you just would not know it. And then last, maybe summer, maybe June, July time, Rob reached out to me and did something I couldn't believe at the time, to the point where I actually thought I was worried it was some sort of like a fraud thing, because I don't trust the internet, and it must be an age thing for me. But Rob said he wanted to give me his PC. He said he'd upgraded. He was basically buying a new one. He was taking his sort of top end graphics card that he had in his old machine and putting it into a new setup. But his old setup, so the hard drives and the kind of older graphics card, he wanted a gift to me. And he didn't want any money, he didn't want any charity. He just did it on the idea of, in his words, he believed in me and wanted to give me the chance to experience FS as he was playing it, and felt that I could do so much more with my channel with a PC than I could on console. And I took the chance and believed, trusted that he wasn't some prince from far away trying to sell me diamonds. And bless him, this PC turns up in the post, and I bought my kind of the peripherals for it, and the rest is sort of history, because the channel has come on leaps and bounds since then, all because of the kindness of one person. And the point that I promised Rob I would make when the time came would be, don't ever underestimate kindness and what you can do as a stranger, or what a stranger can do for you. The friendship that Rob and I developed over the last year, he became one of my closest friends. and we would exchange calls back and forth, and mainly kind of voice notes, because it was easier for Rob with everything that he was going through, because talking was getting increasingly difficult for him, bless him. And yeah, and it's just the one thing he said he wanted me to do when I told the story was just try and remind you all that you can have such an impact on someone's life and never even know that you've had that impact, in theory. I was looking over his videos this week on his channel, and there was a video from about a year ago where he talks about his main diagnosis and his decision, because of how unwell treatment made him, that he wasn't going to continue with his chemo, and just had made the decision and was comfortable with that. And he talks on that video at the end where he will say, you know, for people going through anything, and it doesn't have to be, we're not just talking about cancer here, we can talk about any illness, we can talk about mental health, it could be any one of those things. If you know someone who's going through it, just be a human being, be a friend, speak to them, text them, drop them a voice note, phone them, buy them a coffee. You know, you don't have to hold their hand and, you know, and sort of cry for them and stuff. Just show them you care and give them something to talk to you about and think about. And I think that's probably inadvertently what both Rob and I gave to each other. You know, I'm certainly not going through anything like Rob. I've had my ups and downs, my own sort of mental health, in the sense of very, very simple stuff. So, you know, have your good days and your bad days, don't you? And yeah, and we sort of found each other and became really, really good friends. And Rob's story was a fascinating one. He was a gamekeeper as a young man. So from a very young age, was always outdoors and on the land. And he told me a funny story that when he formally became a gamekeeper as an adult, and it was I think he said it was his grandfather. Was his grandfather as well? But anyway, it was a family member, and that person, as he'd grown up, had always sort of taken him out into the countryside and taught him everything he'd sort of known about the countryside. And when he said he was becoming a gamekeeper, then he lost contact with this family member for months and months. And at the time, he'd just started riding a motorbike, so he assumed it was because of the bike. But it later transpired that this family member was a poacher. So Rob had become his worst enemy. Because he was out there trying to catch his own family members committing crimes on the land, which was just brilliant. But yeah, and he had a love for the outdoors, but unfortunately, with the MS, that was abruptly kind of had to come to an end, and he took up an office job within FedEx, and then, you know, he sort of found his way into gaming, and sim racing was his passion, but he also loved Farming Simulator, and we stumbled across each other, and the rest is history, as they say. And then this is the sort of guy that Rob is. He knew I was going to Lama and was, you know, really looking forward to it. Was, you know, we spoke a lot whilst I had my month away from the channel, and I kind of sensed something was going on, because he sort of talked about it, but not really. Sort of it kind of felt like he accidentally said things he maybe didn't really want to say at the time. So I kind of sensed there might be something happening. But yeah, Rob being Rob, he wouldn't say before I went to Lama, because he didn't want to put a downer on what he knew would be a great experience for me. You know, not only just going to the show and seeing the show, but the opportunity to go and meet the other content creators out there, and you know, meet the people I speak to in person. And he was right. It was an absolutely awesome couple of days, and I got to meet some wonderful people, and hopefully some people I'll be friends with for a long time. And I was, you know, sending pictures to him, and I did this stupid thing. I went to the demo area to give him a proper sort of voice note and check in, but I did it whilst they were driving a massive New Holland harvester around, so you could and the guys like talking on the microphone, and You know, he barely could have heard what I was saying, the poor bugger, but, you know, he didn't ever like, complain at me or anything, bless him. And yeah, so he didn't tell me, but when I got back, he said he'd unfortunately taken a turn for the worse, and the cancer had now spread to the point where it was a matter of days for him. And yet he was still positive and wasn't angry or negative or scared, just kind. And so very brave. So yes, we were, you know, messaging sort of more frequently back and forth, and I asked him, with his sort of love for the outdoors, if he'd be okay with me planting a tree for him. And I'd like him, you know, I wanted him to choose what the tree was. So he was, you know, he was really grateful and emotional about that, and just wanted it to be, he sort of gave me sort of like a bit of an open end of what I could choose for him. So I'll share a little picture at the end of today's episode, and maybe for some time, maybe forevermore, who knows. You know, there'll always be a bit of Rob in all of my videos, one way or another, I think. And yeah, so then, you know, planted the tree this just past week now. Chose a nice silver birch, and I didn't want to sort of like pester him and stuff, but at the same time, you know, wanted to kind of make sure I was kind of touching base with him and things. And it'd been a couple of days, and I messaged. There was something on Thursday, the 5th of Feb, in the morning. I woke up and I just had this sort of overwhelming urge to drop him a message to say, you know, just checking in, see you doing, mate, look forward to hearing your voice and stuff. And he hadn't been online for, you know, 24 hours or so, and I was a bit concerned. And then message comes through from Rob, so I was all like, oh great. But the voice on the note was Rob's sister, who who just like Rob was, you know, considering her loss, was apologetic to me, my loss, and explained that Rob had passed away that morning. And you wouldn't think the loss of someone you've never actually physically met could impact you that much, but it really has, as you know, you'll hear from my voice in this message. I guess the thing from me is, don't underestimate what kindness can do for someone and the impact you can have on someone's life should you choose to. Rob was an incredibly kind and caring and thoughtful person who didn't need to do what he did for me. I'd swap it all now. Give the PC back if I could just have one more chat with him. Be a bit long just to put on an episode in there, but we'll see how it comes out in the edit, I guess. To Rob Newman. Out of all the people that I've never met, you are the best, mate. Welcome back to Pichonniere on Farming Simulator 25. Thanks for joining me once again. Depending on the start of this episode, and if I put my sort of tribute to Rob in at the start, we'll sort of depict how long this episode is. What was going to be a couple of minutes probably ended up being a lot more. It took me a lot longer to record than you'll listen to. There was a lot of stopping and starting for me, and wiping the occasional tear away from the eye. But it needed to be said. And yeah, I just had to have that time to explain some stuff and put a bit of context on my situation. So this one's for you, buddy. So let's catch you up. We are November 2 at the moment. We won't be here for long. We've only got £55,648 left in the bank. It's a pretty dire situation. However, we have done quite a bit. Some of it for free. I will tell you all that now. Some of it not for free. So let's go to flight mode. Actually, first things first, I have downloaded a mod. The mod is called Texture Streaming Budget Increase. And allegedly, it allows you to improve the graphics or basically improve the usage of your, is it VRAM on your graphics card? If you've got a graphics card that has got 8 gig or more, then you can use this mod and it will help. And from what I've seen so far, it does seem better. I don't seem to be getting the flickering or a lot of the issues I was having. Now, I've said that before and then it's gone horribly, horribly wrong. So, rough with the smooth, we'll see how that works out. But anyway, as you'll see, we have not only obviously gone and collected now all the straw from this field and taken it away, which is down there somewhere, but we have mulched it, or I have mulched it, and also put a layer of lime down on it. And I'm now going to put some solid fert down. Now this may or may not impact the red tape. I don't know our current status. Let's have a look. Still the water contamination issue from the last time from there. However, in terms of schemes, oh look at that, got a brand demo to try. Natural fertilizer, we've put 13,000 down. At the moment it says 0, so I don't know whether that's compared to synthetic alternatives. So we should, I mean, we're only going to put a couple of thousands down, I think, on the other, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out when it starts calculating it. I have also installed a lime station by here, or whatever you want to call it, just to make it easy to going back and forth, because it was driving me up the wall. I wish I put a big one in, but it is what it is. That's fine. It's about 18,000 litres, but we go through lime like the clappers. Up here, we have harvested our alfalfa, and then I have also collected it, put it in the silo, and compacted it and covered it. So that is now fermenting over there, which will be nice and helpful for us. However, I have managed to put a load of manure down on this for a fertilizer. So fingers crossed we get a decent yield out of that. We then have some more stuff going on over here, and you can see that I actually went and did what I was going to delay, but I did it anyway just to get it out of the way. It's not the prettiest, and I'm still going to have to tidy a lot of this up, but we now have basically what is going to be a sort of extended sheep pasture here. So my thought, because we can only have 31, where are they, over there, which isn't much in that shed. If then we have a load of adults, or we got a bunch of pregnant, I could, in theory, kind of put them into here. And the ones that we're then going to sell could be in here whilst the babies are over there, sort of thing. And then we've got adults that are pregnant. I don't know. I felt we needed an extra space, so that it's only ever the 31 that we're keeping in the shed over winter. But if they're going to give birth, I'll have to really keep an eye on that. And then we have 2 cow pastures. So one of these will be for our beef stock, and the other will be for our calves, just to get them out and about into the field. Now, what I hadn't considered was the impact this would have on the red tape mod. And I meant to message Oz about it, or follow up. I saw a message in the Discord about it. So it is something that I need to keep an eye on, because if we're moving the animals back and forth, then how will that impact on our ratings and stuff. Will it reset to 0 each time we move them? So I don't know. There is an absolute tump load of straw. You can see from the way it's on there, I didn't use auto loader. I didn't cheat. I loaded those myself very, very badly. But nonetheless, they are on. We also have this. And I've done the full Scroft version because it's Mark's Thor's model. My registration being FAF Midlife Sim, ML Sim. But yeah, we've got, finally he has released onto 25 the original farmhands telehandler, or loadall as they call it in the show, and it's perfect for this. It is absolutely what I wanted. It's a solid, rigid four-wheel base, so it's not the weird sort of twisting ones. It's small enough that we can get it in and out of the calf barn as well. It goes through those doors down there, so it can do that. Yeah, love it. Solid, sturdy little thing. Really, really pleased with it. It's slow, and the arm's slow, so we'll also keep the main telehandler. But I just gifted this to myself because I just wanted it for kicking around on the farm and doing some odd little jobs. Other than that, not masses else to do. The grass over here, we have done the full hit. So this was basically ploughed but subsoiled with the ploughed status. And then on top of that, then we put, I'm sure I put a fertilizer state on this. Let's have a look. Soil types, where are we? Yes, so it's had its fertilizer, and it's had it lime, so that should help us out. I mean, it's not pretty, it's not the best, but it's better than it was, so we'll be happy enough with that. Other than that, basically we're a go. Most of the animals have got enough feed. We'll double check that before I finish the month, but they're good. The clover's still growing, so that needs to be harvested next month, and then we can bring that over to this, compact it and cover it. So that'll be our winter silage, so we'll be laughing there. We now have loads of hay as well, which is over here with our straw. So we have, where are we? A lot of straw, as you can see. We've got 24 13,000 litre straw bales, along with 2 9,000 litre straw bales. And then we also have 13 bales of hay at 11,500 each. So this should do us for quite some time, which is really, really good. And we need to keep our eye out now for a mixer. And then the only other thing, which is really, really exciting, is I've been invited by Oz, along with a number of others, to test an upcoming mod. Now, I've made several videos on it, and I can't do it justice. Now, you may well have seen Scroff's video by the time this comes out, because Scroff's video came out 2 days ago on this topic. So anything I release is going to be days and days behind anyway. So I'm sort of of the opinion I might not. It all came out a bit of a rush. Had I known I was going to be able to do it, I might put something together quicker. I still might, but we'll see, because it deserves its own praise. But I want to do it justice, and it's still very, very early. And because I'm so rubbish at this game, I don't want to do a disservice to Oz with what I'm talking about. But let's head up to here, where we have our canola growing. And you can see already on the bottom right-hand side, let's drop off the flight mode, bonk, field moisture. Down the bottom right, there's 25.7%, the expected range 15 to 33. I won't go through it all now, because it's just too complicated. But basically, this is a realistic mod that you should be using, and this will dictate when you harvest your crop. So you'll have your standard harvest window within your crop calendar. So canola being here, July to August. However, if it is raining or it has been super, super dry and the crop is under its ideal rating, and I'll show you that very quickly, which is here. So canola should be harvested when it's 8 to 10% of moisture. If it's 6 to 8, so it's a dry season, or it's 10 to 12, wet, and then you can see it goes down, grade B, grade C, grade D. That will affect the value of your crop. So that crop retains its value grading. You then sell it, and it will be at 88% of the value of its original costing. So if it's, say, 1,000, or let's make it easy, £100 per 1,000 litres, and you took a grade B product, you would get £88 per 1,000 litres, not the 100, because you're providing a grade B. And that's in its simplest terms. That's what it is. We're in November at the moment, so you can see the moisture levels there expected to be quite high, 15 to 33. Come June, they drop back down. July 4 to 14, being the driest there. 6 to 18 back in August. So yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of testing happening. There's a lot of little things going on. Like where Oz, as he always does, is incredibly efficient at making amendments, making changes, redesigning things, and communicating and listening to the people using his mod. I can't say enough for the guy. I really can't. And I'm ashamed that I do him such a disservice in the mods that he creates. However, I will say this, because he did comment on one of my videos saying his garage mod, which I gotta be honest, I put the garage mod probably my top 5 mods on FS25. I couldn't be without this. I really couldn't. It does my head in that I can't know what I've got. But if I go into switch mode, which is L3 on my controller, or X, all it shows me is owned items and leased items, and it should be showing me the searches we've done for items in the shop. So if I go into, let me find something really cheap. Let's put these in correct order. 650, that'll do. So if I, what am I don't want combinations, blimey. So if I did this, it would be a £71 fee for this search. Yeah, so we'll search for this thing. And then if I come out of that entirely, go back in, just so you can see that there's nothing there. And if I go back down to here, switch the mode, it still isn't showing it. So something has changed somewhere. Oz is aware, he's going to fix it. And happy days, I can have my searches back on my screen. And we'll see that I've probably now searched for the same thing 4 times. Because I keep forgetting what I have searched for. And that is basically where we are, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Crops are in. This is done. That needs to be harvested soon. We're almost out of that stuff, but we've got this stuff over here. We've got a load of the stuff in there. There's some moos over here, and sheepies over there, and chickens over there, and limey stuff over here. So I'm going to lime this, but I've also taken out a grass contract because it's a massive contract. It's about £9,000, I think it was. Yeah, 9,400 with Katie over in Field 75, because we need the money. We desperately need the money. We will also be able to sell these. So we should have quite a lot from this. Bearing in mind these bales are 13,000 litre per bale, and we've got what? 1, 2, this is weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 bales. And I know I could do this with the stock checkers, time-saving stock checker, but that would do everything. It's not going to look at the individual situation. So 18 bales. What did I say? 13,000. So 18 times 13 gives us 234,000 litres. And if we look at the prices, we can look at it on here now. We can use it for this part. We will be able to see that our maximum price to get there would be £89. So if we times 234 by 89, we've got £20,000 worth of strawberry here, which is good. But the best time is going to be in January, and we can't afford to wait that long. So we need to get some money in, which is going to be from the grass contract I'm going to go and do in the background. other than that, November's then basically done. We're not going to move any animals across into these pens just yet. This grass is now growing. The cows are still wandering about out here. I'm not getting any of the nav mesh issues that a lot of people are getting. Touch wood, I haven't experienced that, or I don't seem to have many cows either. Where are my cows? Hang on. What? Why are you showing one cow? Right. What? I thought I'd lost that my one cow. Hang on a minute now then. Is that mod that I bought in messed things up for my viewing? So I can't remember what the... I can't remember what the shortcut... Change visual animal, Shift T. What's recommended, please? 40. Thank you. There we go. Now you watch it now. My graphics go through the floor now because I've turned that on. God, I had an absolute moment then. Blimey. Hello, ladies. How are we? And one bull somewhere. So yeah, so that is basically that. So it's time to get on with a bit of farming. However, this has already been 17 minutes, and you probably hear me being very, very sad for probably 10 to 12 minutes at the start. So it doesn't leave us with a massive amount of time, does it? So we need to get over here and get on with our lives. Come along. Let's hop into our tractor. Oh, the JCB, I've said hop into our tractor. The JCB is going through repairs, whereas it over there. So that's another part of the reason why our money has gone down as well. So it's, yeah, tough times. However, we should be all good. So if I'm spraying fertilizer though, don't I need that thing? I left it over by the manure, didn't I? I'm sure it works for this, but I'm still not convinced it's going to be doing anything for me, because I've got the settings within precision farming set that it like auto applicates and stuff. I don't know. Again, it's my lack of experience of playing the game using certain equipment, this being a good example of it. Precision Farm was never something I did in 22 or even paid much attention to at the start of 25 because I never done it before, so I didn't understand it. And I'm still not great with it, as you've all seen many a time already. And for some reason my brain at the moment just doesn't seem to retain information very well, so even though I've probably been taught it by several of you in the comments, for whatever reason at the moment I just don't seem to retain that information, which is annoying. But it is what it is. So let's get this done. If we and then we've got to turn it on that way, and then we need to set our field up. So let's see what it looks like with 2 headlands versus 1, maybe just 1. Okay, so line this up, move that to the back, unfold fertilizer, start her up, and off we go. Now I would use a worker for this, but at the same time then I'm a little bit worried that if I do that, then I'm going to end up overpaying, and they do seem to get stuck a lot on this field. So I'm definitely going to do the headland. Blimey, we're smashing through this solid fur mind. That's almost 20% gone already. Ay, ay, ay. That is not pretty. And then we're going to need to cultivate this field. But so my plan is, once I've got it fertilized, I can cultivate it with a worker. So I'll just do probably the first headland, maybe 2, and then turn it over to the worker to finish off for us. I did speak with Oz in the Discord for the testing in terms of the moisture mod, and within obviously his Discord is the red tape testing area as well. So there's a bunch of people talking in there. I'm super keen to get rid of these trees by here. They are just in the way, and they are a bit of a waste of space for me in this field. So the plan is I'm going to cut these down, but I have to, in the same month, replace the same amount of trees, and then there won't be a negative impact. There was much discussion within the Discord for that mod, and a very, very, very well-known and my YouTube fandom fanboy legend, and I'm not going to mention his name just because it will give that person a sort of delight that I have to mention them again. But they were talking about basically like the impact of the trees. So they were saying like you could look at -5 per tree that you cut down, but you get +1 for every tree that you return. Oh no, they said -25. Sorry. And basically I kind of pointed out that if it was a score of -25 for every tree I cut down, if I then cut my 10 trees down, I've got to replant 250 trees to make it even, which is the equivalent essentially of, as far as I'm concerned, replanting a small rainforest. So yeah, I managed to give a little bit of stick in the group and get a couple of nice little laughing emojis from some very big names within the FS community, which is always nice to be a part of that. So yeah, and again, it's just a massive thanks to Oz, because when he contacted me and said, "Oh, do you want to be a part of the testing group? I can invite you into the Discord." I was really humbled by it and kind of shocked by it. And I said, "Well, of course, like why wouldn't I want to be in there?" But at the same time, I'm not going to provide you with information that the normal, intelligent, experienced FS player is going to provide you. I will likely provide you some stuff that the average Joe sort of first timer provides you, which is ridiculous because the amount of hours I have in this game now should suggest that I am a minor expert, like a subject matter expert or something within Farming Simulator, and I am absolutely not one of those. So yeah, but I have stumbled across a few things, and Oz has said good catch on a few little bits and bobs, so pleased with that. Right, that wasn't much fertilizer in there either, was it? But is there no, there was none, I don't think there's any. What's that? That's seeds, isn't it? Lime, seeds, silage additive. Oh dear. Oh dear. So I need another one of those things full of solid fert then, don't I? Bloody hell. It's pretty depressing, I gotta be honest. I thought solid fert would go a lot longer, but I'm guessing part of this is because let me just start this off and then I can ask my question. This is turning everything green, so we're getting good result, but it's almost like it's a double application where but why is that orange then and this is going green? I know this is solid fert and that was manure. Is manure, I have to put a double application down, whereas solid fert, it's going to apply enough that it provides a double application? Can someone explain that to me, please? That would be very beneficial and helpful. Thank you. So anyway, I'm going to get this done. I may... I just don't know how the best way to go and buy the fert is, really, because I'm loath to put a to put like a supply of solid fert on the farm. But if I don't, we're going to be just going back and forth to the shop for ages, and the shop is ages away. We may have to do, based on our financial situation and the cost of fert, we may have to do that contract, because this is not going to be pretty at all when it comes to the actual completion of this. Why is that? Because it's right. Okay. Well, I'm not going on that line. I'm going to go on this line and then worry about you. Even though it shouldn't waste the fert, but I just don't trust it. Right, happy days. I think we'll do a speed cut, just so the editing's a little bit quicker on this one. So I'll see you in a sec. Well, actually, we don't even do that. I'm just going to cut. So I'll get this finished. I'll go and do the grass contract, and I will catch you on either November 3 or December 1. I think actually I've changed my mind entirely. Sorry. Because of the length of the video, but also what I needed to tell you guys about Rob, it's probably easier for me just to sort of finish the video here, call this quite a short one. I'll go and I'll finish this job off. I'll then go and do the grass cutting, take us into December, and that's then maybe when we could do the trees and bring those down. I know I should have done all this after I'd done the trees, but if that little section isn't as good as all the rest of it, so be it. It is what it is, and it will balance out at some point. We'll make it right. But yeah, I think that's probably the easiest thing to do, is actually call the episode, just be a bit of a catch up, a bit of a natter about the sort of mod situation at the moment and what's been going on in the background. And like I say, obviously the news of Rob's passing, and informing you of that, informing you all of that, because that's very important to me to be able to talk about that. So yeah, I think we will call it a day there. In honor and sort of in Rob's memory, as I said at the start, do not underestimate what you can do just for someone else as a stranger. Do not underestimate kindness. Do not underestimate the power of just reaching out to someone you know who is going through a hard time, whether it's illness, whether it's mental health, whether it's relationship stuff, whether it's work stuff. Just, if I could ask one thing of you guys today, just reach out to someone. Reach out to someone you know who's had a bit of a bad time this year so far, is going through a bit, and just be willing to try and help them out a little bit, please. So yeah, we will call it a day there. I didn't even turn the thing back on, did I? What a complete pillock. Let's fold that up. So there we are. So yes, Rob, thank you, mate. Without you, none of this would be possible. I miss you incredibly already, buddy. Yeah, absolutely sucks, mate. Absolutely sucks without being able to catch up with you, but we knew that day would come, so here we are. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you are new to the channel, then please consider giving it a subscribe. If you are a returning viewer, you know the rules. Give it a like. It's the easiest way to support the channel. It makes a massive difference for me, and it's so little for you and completely free. But as always, be happy, stay safe, and we will speak again soon. Take care.